Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series for April 16th, 1988. And we are fast approaching the end of the run here on the network. Anyway, Phil Weil versus Sweet Brown Sugar opens this particular edition. Sweet Brown Sugar's been around for a while. They gave him a greater push. Phil Weil is an enhancement talent at best. And Sweet Brown Sugar obviously uses a lot of agility, monkey flips, leapfrogs, and the like. Ties the enhancement talent up for a bit, stays on the arm for quite a while, tries to get head scissors rollover, and there, and ultimately the enhancement talent comes out of it. He comes up with some rather strong maneuvers, big body slam, and then Victory and Tatum make their way in, try to toss everybody out. They want attention. They want their championships back. They interfere in the match, stop the match just to yell about their championships. It's kind of, I understand it. You're trying to get heat on a tag team. They're screaming about the Simpsons not being rightful champions, screaming about wanting their championships back, screaming about being one of the best tag teams in the world, etc. and so forth. Really, really basic stuff, basic way to get heel heat. But then we go to a Von Erich family album commercial. And this is, to me, it's kind of treacherous stuff. It's dark. They're capitalizing on Von Erich fandom with multiple Von Erichs having passed away. I didn't like this at all. And they've been doing it for weeks. This is the third time they've showed this commercial. I don't like it because it's sensationalistic. We move on to Wild Bill Irwin against Jim Richardson. Richardson's a guy we've seen in the past few weeks. And Black Bart kind of makes the challenge to Wild Bill Irwin, kind of talking about there's not enough room for two cowboys, etc. Really basic stuff here. Kind of trying to build a feud up there. Needless to say, Richardson does have some size to him. Irwin, obviously a former champion in many regards, and I shall get my phone in 1 second. Be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And then we kind of see, ultimately, Irwin get the pump kick, get a victory out of it. Certainly Bill Irwin is not going to be a main event guy going forward, here or anywhere else for that matter. But he certainly does have the cachet with the transition into kind of the USWA and that whole thing to be a guy who can still bring value to that area. Then we go to Iceman Parsons commenting on being champion. He's braggadocious. He basically says the announcer's disrespecting him. He gets cut off in the middle. He basically does the it bees that way sometimes. There's a match waiting in the ring. As champion, he is disrespected. He has reason to feel disrespected. And, they go kind of far with, not far, but they're pretty dismissive of him even in this role. I think that's done on purpose because he's a heel, but it's just an interesting dichotomy that I think is missing from today's nature. Sometimes, we change how or bookers and writers change how a talent is perceived after championship, and he had been disrespected since turning heel. That's not new. Anyway, Michael Hayes and Angel of Death. Angel of Death, another guy I'm a huge fan of, but he does have value. Michael Hayes, again, even in 1988, probably one of the best just sellers and body language people, and getting a lot of mileage out of simple things. Of course, we're talking 88. Within, 6 years, he's retired and doing broadcasting for WWE, and then transitions to backstage. Anyway, shots and clotheslines. It's just interesting to me that even here, he's going into being a little bit less. Killer Brooks comes in, tries to, Iceman Parsons comes in, tries to interfere. Obviously, this match is stopped due to the interference. Then we move on to the main event. Tatum and Victory versus the Simpson brothers. They're given about 10 minutes here, a little less. And obviously the uh, Victory and Tatum have been champions. Scott and Steve Simpson, obviously majorly over with the crowd. The crowd loves them because of the energy they bring. Victory comes in, takes shots at the older Simpson for a while. Steve has always been, I guess I would say, the better brawler. Sean, being younger, a little bit quicker, a little bit more. I don't know that deliberate is the right word, but I don't have another word for it. Anyway, the match breaks down into a series of headlocks. Then they go to the floor. I mean, the match does kind of feel it's overdone by this point, and I think to carry it another 2 or 3 months with guys who don't have long-term value in this incarnation for any of them is tough. And I don't necessarily feel that outside of this feud they had long-term vision for any of the four guys in this match, which I think hurts the value of the match. It's perfectly technically fine. Hard clothesline lariat style by Jack Victory. That gets him an advantage for a little bit. Tatum comes in, goes for and successfully executes almost a flapjack pile driver. He falls forward. I don't know if that move just doesn't go according to plan or what that looks like, but needless to say, Victory and Tatum are in control toward the end of the match. Hot tag, and younger Simpson and John Tatum come in with about 3 or 4 minutes left to go in the program. Tatum pulls his partner to Victory. They do the skin the cat thing. Slingshot over the top rope, and Victory with a cover 1, 2, 3. Victory and Tatum are victorious here as we close this particular week of programming, and we will be back with more right after this.